Hello, my name is David Cram-Howick. I'm the Director of Debate at the University of Minnesota, and you're about to watch a demonstration debate using the middle school times conducted by some students on the University of Minnesota debate team, all of which are very experienced debaters. The debate is on the question of whether or not the United States should change its strategy and withdraw a good number of its forces from Afghanistan. As I noted before, it uses the middle school times, which include a 4-minute constructive, 2-minute cross-examination period, and 3-minute rebuttal conducted by each of the 4 students in the debate, 2 of which are defending the proposition that the United States should withdraw its forces, some of its forces from Afghanistan, 2 of which are negating that proposition. The affirmative case argues that the United States should switch from a counter-insurgency strategy, one that involves a large U.S. military presence designed to win the population to the government and away from the Taliban insurgency by trying to promote security in the urban areas and then working out to the rural areas. This is what you could call the McChrystal strategy, to a strategy called counter-terrorism, which was advocated by Vice President Biden and his allies in the debate within the administration in the fall of 2009 that will withdraw a significant number of U.S. forces and devote U.S. efforts towards defeating known terrorist elements, mostly al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. The affirmative case argues that a strong U.S. military presence now is perceived as an occupation, alienates the population, involves a lot of deaths of civilians as a part of the U.S. conflict against the Taliban forces, and thus alienates the population from the United States. It also puts the U.S. in the position where it's seen as a supporter of a corrupt and unpopular government, which is headed by Hamid Karzai, and thus argues that the United States should withdraw a good number of its forces and let the Afghanistanis take care, the people of Afghanistan take care of their own conflict. The negative introduces 2 arguments into the debate. The first is that if the United States were to withdraw its forces from Afghanistan, they would be moved to Eastern Europe. This would be perceived as being provocative by the Russian government and increase the risk of an inadvertent conflict. The second are a series of case arguments about why it would be good for the United States to maintain a strong military presence in Afghanistan. This debate is the same in terms of the types of arguments that you would see at the high school level. High school debate uses different speech times, 8-minute constructives, 3-minute rebuttals, 3-minute cross-examination periods, and 5-minute rebuttals. And the substance of the debate, they will be largely the same, although the high school students are debating a broader proposition that addresses U.S. military presence not only in Afghanistan, but also in Turkey, Kuwait, Iraq, South Korea, and Japan. One thing that you should know is that the students that you're going to be watching, especially at the middle school level, have, for the most part, never debated before or only have very limited experience. And it is a big deal for these students to be able to get up in front of an audience and talk about issues of public concern. My guess is that you'll be very impressed with the amount of articulateness and the intelligence of these students, but they do say some odd things sometimes. It's important to remember that they're 13, 14 years old and have some very interesting ideas about how it is the world works. If you have any questions about any of your debates, you should probably ask a member of the MUDL staff or one of the coaches. They would be more than happy to help you. One principle I think that's very important, though, to underscore when you're judging a debate is that of impartiality, which means that academic debate works most effectively when the students and the judges all know that the judges approach their decision as to who wins and loses the debate with a tabula rasa or a blank slate perspective, which means that it's okay for you to have good ideas about what constitutes a good argument, but your judgment of who wins the debate is not who presents the arguments with which you agree, but rather who does the best job of debating over the course of the debate. The idea being that this type of blank slate approach to judging encourages students to experiment and test ideas as opposed to playing upon the biases of their audiences. So important to keep in mind, vote for who you think debated best, not who you think promoted an argument that you most agree with.